Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about how it is not your fault. So many times, those of us who have been, let's say the word victim, and I know that triggers some people, but I'll explain it in the video. When we've been a victim to dysfunctional families or emotional invalidation or any kind of trauma, we oftentimes make the mistake of thinking it's our fault. I'm going to tell you why that's not the case and what we can do to reframe this. Watch this video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, I can't talk today, thank you and welcome back. I also just want to mention, because I'll forget, the little Patreon link below. If you want to be a Patreon for my YouTube channel, what happens is every time I release a new video, if you're a member, you'll also get worksheets and exercises to do that are attached to the message in the video. And if you do, I think it's tier 2 or tier 3, you can also ask a personal healing question to me every single month. So I want to offer that to you. Diving in. It has been coming to my attention a lot. You know, I have these online courses that I teach every year. They are called Emotional Rehab. They are called Shadow Work. There's also Soul Lab, Self-Love Masterclass. There's other things going on, but right now I'm really focused on emotional rehab and shadow work. And one of the sections in shadow work is about the victim, honoring the victim. And we don't have to live in the victim role anymore. But one of the ways, I'm not going to go all into everything that's in the course, but one of the ways that we stop being the victim in our lives and stop attracting the same patterns and stop having the same voice inside our head is by releasing ourselves from being the blame, right? It's not your fault that you were in a dysfunctional home. It's not your fault that you had a toxic partner. It's not your fault that you were emotionally invalidated. It's not your fault that you were deeply misunderstood. It's not your fault that you were made to feel different all the time. It's not your fault that you have wounds of unworthiness and feel like you're not enough. It's not your fault that you struggle with self-doubt and you get mad at yourself for doubting yourself. It's not your fault that you cannot trust your own perception. It's not your fault that you have difficulty trusting yourself and difficulty trusting others. It is not your fault that you think God is punishing you sometimes. It is not your fault that you look at others and you envy them, or you have jealousy, or you wonder why I didn't get that kind of upbringing, or why I had it so hard. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And when we're children, we make it our fault so that we can have some sense of control, some sense of, if it's my fault, at least I can be better and do better so that I can control my environment. We try to control our environment. And what I like to teach is that we have to really just master our inner environment by noticing how we're relating to the issue and noticing how we're relating to ourselves. This is about self-partnering, you guys. This is about releasing other people's shadows from your vortex. This is about doing your own shadow work and realizing that there's a golden part of you waiting to shine when you clear this shame and clear this very deep misunderstanding and misinterpretation that it is your fault at all that any bad thing happened to you. It's not. I like to explain this as tribal wounds. If someone is hurting you, they have been hurt. What you're learning in your emotional imprint is what your parents learned. If not, they would have taught you differently. We are the victims of an emotional dark age. And what we get to do is, yes, we have to sustain a lot of pain sometimes. But that pain, if we look it in the eye and we really heal it in a way that is self-compassionate, we can walk through that door of pain and right into our higher purpose. I just want to offer that for you. I know you're probably like, how? What do I do? I offer many tools, some of them for free, obviously on YouTube, some of them for very cheap in my memberships. And I do that because I want everyone to start awakening to the fact that you are an innocent, pure soul having a human experience who's had some maybe trauma, maybe emotional wounding, maybe pain, And because of that, you may have continued those traumas by ideas you had about your own worth and because of behaviors you had to try to counteract what you were feeling, or this fake power that you had because you were so unempowered, right? You were disempowered. And my work is to empower you back to the truth of who you are. And we must first forgive ourselves for buying into the misbelief that it is my fault that this happened to me, that it is my fault in any way that I'm being treated poorly. When you think about how you would treat an innocent child. Would you beat them up? Would you ignore them? Would you emotionally invalidate them? Would you make fun of them? No, you wouldn't probably. And if you would, you have some wound work to do. But if you wouldn't, then think about the people that did that to you. Is it because of you? No. If you were to do that to an innocent child, there'd be something in you that's wrong, right? Needs to be healed, not the child. When we do the role play, we can start to see that it's nobody's fault if we decide to do something negative. You know, I had one client tell me the other day that she finally got over the fact that her husband cheated on her because she cheated on her new boyfriend. And what she realized is it had nothing to do with him. I was in a bad place. I didn't know what I wanted, blah, blah, blah. It released me from the pain of my husband cheating. Now, unfortunately, she had to do the same thing and continue the pain. But hopefully now she'll learn the lesson that I don't have to do these things to hurt others just because I'm hurt. What she told me is, I really wish I didn't. I wish I would have had the awareness and boundary to say, hey, this is what I need. I'm not getting it and I don't really know what I need, instead of acting out to figure it out, right? So think about that. People do things to us not because of us, but because of them. I really want you to look at that. Take any situation you're in that you think is your fault, and please follow it back to the original experience of where you think that fault was yours. I love you guys. I just want to welcome you into my courses. They are now open for enrollment. They are all down in the description box, or you can find them at CandaceVanDell.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. You can go to my Instagram. I'm always there to answer your DMs. It might take me a day or two at this point. I'm also launching my boundaries course later in the month. So if you want to get on that wait list, that is also available in the description below. I love you guys so much. It is not your fault. And let's go and shine. See you next week.